Kyoumo. Well, I've just done a few edits on my arcade videos, and I think they're all classified on Kyouko's playlist. So here's the music, and let's move on with the presentation. I'm in today's bridge lesson. But before we start, there are a few errors from the previous lesson, especially with the up the line and down the line principle. So you have this hand, and your partner opened one club. How would you respond? Hold on. Well, actually, it was my manager who contacted Well, as said before on my history of preamps video, I've made a bit of progress on my bridge lessons. So my manager have talked to his friend, and he seemed interested. But we're still waiting for further responses. Turns out they're busy for the tournament they're having at the headquarters. But I don't need to get envious, because I still have a lot of things to do. So anyways, here's the question. What would you respond if you have a hand like this on the left? For one thing, the M dash shows a void, meaning you have no card on that suit. You don't have enough clubs to directly raise, so your two options are either a heart or a diamond, which are both in the same range of 5 cards. your suit to fit, which is hard. Now the quality doesn't matter. You can't call your dynasty later. Yes, you call one heart. And what about this hand on the right? You don't have enough clubs to directly raise, so there's two options: spades and hearts. They have, I mean, they're in, they, I mean, these are four card suits here. So you have to pick either one to bid first. With three cards each or four each, you pick the lower suit. Oh wait. Not this again. There. So one heart again here. Now what about this hand? I'll give you a hint. It depends whether your hand is minimum or medium. And it's different than being maximum here. There's a certain treatment called Walsh to distinguish these situations. Well, 10 points is medium. Yes. But only when raising for a limit raise in majors. On minors, however, it's counted as a minimum hand. weight is right if it's counted as medium. Oh wait, no. You bypass diamonds in this case, so one heart is right. Because you have to pick the lower suit between the majors. So here's the point. With 5 cards each or more, pick the higher one. With 4 cards each or less, you pick the lower one. But at the 1 level, and you have to choose 2, including diamonds, you skip diamonds when your hand is minimum or medium. But if it's a maximum, you just pick diamonds and then show the other suit. So it's 13 points, including the singleton. If it's counted as a maximum, you bid 1 diamond. This is called the Roche response. It doesn't matter if the club singleton is replaced with a diamond card. Now with this hand, you would think that the diamond has the most cards, but no. If it's a minimum or medium, you have to choose between the majors. And most of the time it will be hearts. Otherwise, for a maximum hand, you would pick diamonds. So this is what I shouldn't have been on the previous lesson. And I've numbered wrong on reviewing and previewing on the previous lesson. So that's about it. Let's move on to today's lesson. So before we discuss about 3 no trump openings, we would like to discuss about solid suits. Solid suits are basically self-sufficient suits because it can be won either a 10 or a jack with 6 small cards. Now these cards are split into the opponent's hands. So unless they have a very unusual distribution, it is likely that that suit would win the rest of the cards. And here's a 7 card solid suit. Now this has the top 3 honors, which is Ace, King, Queen, and full small cards. And the opponents would hold the Jack and the 10 and the other full small cards. Well, most of the time, yes. But it's better to have more high cards. If you include the Queen and the Jack and the 10 all together, would be suitable for this hand right here. Now the diamond suit is solid because it is better than the 7-card minimum shown right here. Because of the jack. And it's definitely better than a 3-diamond opening. Now gambling means taking a chance against the opponent's opening delete with the unstopped suit, which is a spade or clubs in this case. Let's see what happens if partner passes. Fortunately, he have the other suit. Responder's hand have the other suits stopped, which is quite fortunate here. Usually, partner should bid pass if they have 2 suits or more with a stopper. But when he or she has at least 2 suits stopped, or just barely even one, they would pray the opponents don't lead the unstopped suit. Or it is the 3-note trump opener that has a stopped suit. Anyways, it's alertable here because it shows 25 to 27 high card points and a balanced hand. In the original standard American, so you pick up the alert card in the bidding box and show it to the opponents. And if they ask, you just tell them solid wider suit, 7 cards or more. Now this gambling 3-note trump have 3 kinds of variants. The first one is the aggressive or weak one. The second one is the moderate or medium one. And the last one is conservative or strong one. The weak one has the solid suit and nothing else on the other suits. In other words, no side suits are stopped. A moderate one have one or two suits with a stopper, but not the rest. And the last one have the other all suits, all three of them with stoppers. And of course, the weaker it is, the more common it will be. So here's the point. Generally with when opening on first and second seats, gambling's 3 no-trump opening is as weak, and without any aces or kings. Queens are fine though. Now this 25 to 27 balanced hand is quite rare. So we got other usages such as this gambling 3 no trump, it was derived from a convention in auction bridge, which is quite old. And this strong variant became popular in United Kingdom, known as April 3 no trump opening. Now the reason I've mentioned gambling 3 no trump is that 3 no trump responses to 1 no trump opening is an invitation similar to it. But the solid suit is sliced or chopped between the two partners, or should I say partnership? Yeah, the partnership shares the solid minor here. Now responder has this hand, for example, and it's quite good with 2 top honors. So David 3 clubs, which is alertable. It means got 6 cards notice that responder needs at least 10 high card points to bit 3 of a minor here. It's an invitation bit. And you need 25 points to get to game. And what about this hand right here? It's got 6 cards in diamonds, and it has 2 of the top honors of Ace, King, Queen. In this case, you should bid 3 diamonds to respond. Which is also alertable, and responses are same as over 3 clubs. Here's the opener's hand, for example. And there's the third top honor right here. Now one Notrum, then 3 majors are splinter bits. Say responder has this kind of hand. With a hard singleton. It's very balanced on the other suits. Which is quite a bit too much for bidding statement. So, you bid 3 hearts. Now this is alertable, and it's forcing to game, much like the other splinters over 1 major. Remember all the double jump shifts? Well, it isn't a jump shift, technically, but it counts as a splinter because it's a convention. Opener's hand looks like this, and game is probable in spades. And what about this hand right here? There's cards, but it's kind of risky to bid statement because opener could have spades. In that case, you bid 3 spades, which is also alertable. go to hearts. And then they're used the hearts to rough all the spades here. There's no need to have splinters and minor suits. There's transfers with a long suit, or just plain stamen. You might even get to 3 no trumps, or even get pulled out to 4 of a minor. Now the expression pull means to get out of a no trump contract and stopping in a suit contract. And here's the thing I forgot to tell when it comes to transfers. Do you remember transfers? To get to hearts or spades, on the right side, you have to bid that is 1 step lower. Remember the convention of transfers? Now when it comes to transfers, you simply bid the suit, 1 below. So if you want to get to hearts, you bid diamonds. And if you want to get to spades, you bid hearts. Now this is the standard or Jacobi transfers to majors, showing 5 cards or more. But there's a different high level of transfers called Texas transfers. They all get to the contract of 4 on major suits. Oh, so I should decrease the background music? Oh, I did not realize that because I tuned the music in OBS and not on my music player. Jacobi transfers to Texas transfers is that Texas transfers are bid at the floor level. So to get to a heart game, you bid 4 diamonds. And to a spade game, you bid 4 hearts. It's no different than any other transfers, except it's bid at the floor level. Jacobi transfers, on the other hand, are bid at the lowest level possible. The reason why we have 2 kinds of transfers is that Texas transfers are originally meant for hands for get to game, but not enough big for slam. Well, this isn't always the case to go to maximum. Because it is true that you can use Texas transfers to prevent the opponents from bidding, but it can be also used for sign off. Which is to stop the auction at the game level. Some players use low-level transfers and then invite slam. But I think it's all about agreement. Also, fun fact here, the inventors of Texas transfers don't live in or born from Texas. One is from Missouri, which is also in America, and the other is from Sweden. And regarding one no trump, then for spades, it's kind of difficult here, but we can't utilize it yet. So I have a different way to play them. But it's beyond the scope for Kyouko 5 card majors right now. Time to stop here a bit and turn on the different music here. because we're about to have a quiz here. And it's called, Is that bit necessary? I've made this feature here to have better thinking and judgment on bidding. You see, I've never showed a lot of examples, but I definitely need to compensate that. So here we go. Now you have this hand as East. Now West opens one no trump. And with this hand, you bid 2 spades. Is it necessary? And why not? It's not about just saying yes or no, but also you need a decent reason. Here, I'll give you a hint. Hope this would be helpful. And the answer is yes. Now this 2 spades bid here is a transfer to clubs. And to transfer, you need to announce 2 clubs. So for most cases, if you have a long suit, you have to transfer regardless of points. Transfers are for hands that are low in points, but with a long suit. And then the opener should transfer to clubs, and everyone would pass. Turns out West is also a minimum with just 15 high card points. Yes, as you said, it's very weak with just 3 high card points. So you can't use stamen because stamen is intended with invitational hands with 8 high card points or more. So the point is that always use conventions at the right usage. Now here's another quiz. Seems like you have a strong hand and West opened 1 heart. You don't have enough to raise, so you bid your spades as East. West bids no trump on the next turn, which shows a balanced minimum. And you assume that you can bid check back stamen right here. Now the question is the check back stamen necessary? Here, I'll give you a hint. So what do you mean by 16 high card points? A balanced minimum shows different than a 1 no trump opening. Also, this is 5 card majors. I mean, this hand? You mean this hand, right? That's a lot of points to respond. So that's definitely enough for a check back. Well, think again. It's about the total sum of points. And speaking of which, you're right on counting high card points. Remember when it comes to adding up all the points from the partnership? So, here's the answer. Shall I tell it, or do you need more time? So here's the answer. You don't need to use checkback. You know that West have 12 to 14 high card points, and you have 16. So that's just enough for bidding to gain, which is 4 hearts. If you know the total, you'll definitely know whether it's enough to gain or to slam, or just very suitable in parts score. If you bid too much, taking a lot of steps, the opponents would take advantage of the extra information from the bidding. So it's not great. Jumping directly to game is much better. Now here's an example of West's hand. Yes, there's no reason to bid further. If you bid directly to game, the opponents would not know if it's a preemptive raise because their hand is weak, or is it strong enough to bid to game? And that is what we call a fake space. If you are able to leave much space, try to leave that as much as possible. I will try to discuss more on the next lesson. It's sure that checkback statement is quite helpful for the most of the time, but there are times that you do not need them. if you can calculate the points and add them up, sometimes that would be just enough. In that case, you don't need to rely on conventions. But if you do need information and want your partner to be descriptive, it is just the time that you use conventions. Now here's another quiz. Let's open one no trump and you have this hand. Now here's a statement bit here. Is it necessary? Oh, and I forgot to give hints. Oh. No cheating. It's in my rules. So, what do you want to know about stamen? What would you like to know? So, two clubs as statement ask, do you have a 4-card major? So the purpose of statement is to find a 4-4 fit. Because suit contracts are much better to play with than no-trump contracts. Well, don't worry. There's a lot of time. And it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be too hard. And then you respond to the measures that you have. So, do you have the answer? Take a guess. I want you to guess that. So, you say yes, and do you have a reason? If you don't, then that's fine. Just let Kyouko know. Okay. So here's the explanation. So you guessed right. And the reason is that you can use with weak hands with short clubs. It's kind of funny that bidding clubs to show nothing to do with clubs. But we have this kind of convention, and it's called a splinter. Now let's have this minimum balanced hand. And as you can see, there's no fit in clubs. Or even the measures. But as it is quite right to bid 2 diamonds when the one no-trump opener has no 4-card major, they're likely to stop at 2 diamonds and get passed by everyone else. And it seems like it's quite playable. Especially with the club getting roughed. After playing the ace. Now this thing is sometimes referred as weak statement or garbage statement. The reason I never mentioned about this while introducing statement is not only is that too much, but to show that judgment is quite important when it comes to bidding. So here's what we've learned here. We take a look at solid suits, which are self-sufficient. By which I mean needs no support from the partner. And there's gambling 3 no trump and slice or chop gambling inviting 3 no trump. There's high-level transfers in the 4 level of Texas transfers. And we've looked at some useful tips when it comes to thinking about bidding. Keep in mind or refer to the session notes or agreements. Use conventions at the right usage and don't overuse them when it's not necessary to. And leave vague space as possible if you're able to. So in the next lesson, we'll look at principle of captaincy, ribbed by opener and responder for extra descriptions. And here's the thing called reverse bid, which is a bit complicated. And we're going to look at another convention called fourth suit forcing to gain. And that's about it for this lesson. Do you have any questions? 1 no trump as invitational to gambling 3 no trump. What do you mean by risky? So, it's not risky at all because there's a condition that it needs points to force to gain. Also, you need 6 or more cards to do Texas transfers. And here's a bit of tangent here, or could be not. Preempts are kind of risky as well because it takes betting space. But taking a lot of betting space is sometimes worth it because it doesn't give a lot of chances for the opponents to bet. Of course, the opponent might have a way to deal with the situations, but that's another story. I've made some notes regarding to it when the opponents have bid some special contracts and we don't have enough bidding space. Yes, it's preemptive. But preempts are let's say they also have a purpose as well. It's about holding down losses, as said before. And by holding down losses, you lose less points than the opponents scoring a higher contract to game or even slam. And the score that the opponents have bid for a contract, you lose the same amount of points that the opponents have won. For example, you score 420 points when it comes to bidding and making a major game when non-vulnerable. if your partnership bids and make, then the opponents lose 420 points as well. It's a zero-sum system. Which is quite common in duplicate contract bridge. So here's the point. You can lose 50 or 100 points only, or let the opponents win 420 points. So you end up losing 420 points. Which way is better? You see the point? That is pretty much what preempts are for. I will also emphasize this when it comes to a thing called balancing bids. Yes, that is the point. If the opponents win big, then you also lose big. So a relatively small loss is much more better than what I've said before. But sometimes you can get to better contracts from that bid, taking a lot of bidding space. It could be the matter of trumps or the quality in the suits. I've seen some examples of getting to a small slam or grand slam random openings. Also, it's kind of necessary to remember the holdings right here. It could be useful. Or if you don't have enough memory, just remember this kind of holding here. Even this or that would be sufficient. Point is that you need a very good suit starting from the tops. So in the very beginning, I've shown a very solid suit starting from ace, then down all the way through to king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8. Now that is a very, very solid suit. There's no way to win the suit because it includes all the high cards. So, any comments? I could wait a bit more. Okay, you can always watch the VODs at any time. So, I'll end the stream here. I need to get dinner. And I might come back when I'm able to stream for another content.